Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Join me in sometime in October 1982 where we're playing every single video game.
Can't get a big one, 175.
Yes, may I have a B, please, as in boy?
Would you believe no B? Beverly, come on.
And we were last in the Acorn Atom, checking out Galaxians. When we could get it to load, I actually didn't figure out why in the world the screen just froze on us. Well, let's see what our next video game is. We're not straying too far as we play Galaxians. This one is for the BBC Micro, not related at all to all the other Galaxians we referenced previously. Let's check out Galaxians on the Beeb. Here's the box. Oh yeah, this is by Superior Software. Superior Software Limited. This is the fourth game we've seen them do, and it is a classic sci-fi front of the box. I mean, you can't argue with that. Adding one S, does that mean they don't get sued, or does it? Are they still going to get sued because it's so close to Galaxian? Do we have any other artwork for Galaxians by Superior Software? All you have to do is type star run to load. It tells us on the cassette. It's so easy. Anyone could do it. And there's an example of the screenshots. Well, it looks like Galaxians, that's for sure. This game's also known as Galaxy Birds or G-Birds, depending on where you are. Let's pop it and play some Galaxians. This is by Richard M.P. Hansen, published by Superior Software at sometime in October 1982. This one marks our 30th game that we played on the BBC Micro. Load it all up. Nice. And this is also the fourth game that Richard M.P. Hansen has done. Do we want instructions? Yes. How do we play this? I don't know. Maybe it is manly. All right, so we press spacebar. There's the score. Got all the score down for all the Galaxians. All right, I'm with you there. All right, let's hit spacebar. Here we go. So we use Z and X to move left and right, and then copy fires the laser. If you want to alter the skill level, you can press escape key or break key. We'd like hitting the break key. What skill level do we want? Well, we're Galaxian Masters here. I'm going to go with skill level. I don't know if I'll go 6. Let's go 3. 3. There. Oh man, it is classic Galaxian, and I mean to the point that I can only fire one shot at a time. We've actually seen this motif and this look of Galaxian before. I believe it was the one that Bug Bite Software did. This is really close to that one. So Superior Software was ripping off that. Yeah, so this one's all about just making sure your shots are timed. Look at that. We already got a high score. Yes. What's your name? Does it understand Chrono? It does. And we get a high score in there. Nice. Oh, we can go right into it again. There's no rest for the bird ships. Oh, they suicided into us. So skill level 3 in my playtest I was doing, they got me. In my playtest I was doing skill level 2. We might need to go back down to that one because the shots they're firing is raining down bullets. Oh, but man, it gives me vibes though that I'm playing in the arcade. It feels like a classic arcade game experience. It's obviously just like Galaxians, very, very close to Galaxians. Hey, they didn't give us the Moon Cresta music like they did with Galaxians on the Acorn Atom. But this marks our 77th Galaxian-like or Galaxian variant video game we've played here on the show. Not including official Galaxian, but the only official Galaxian, or in the series of Galaxian, is Galaxians. No one's made an official Galaxian yet. There's been 77 other games that play like it. And there's also Galaga, which is, the sequel, but that's it. Yeah, very, very solid. This is another one of those titles for the BBC Micro where it's so well done for an arcade game. The only thing that doesn't make it feel arcade aesthetic is this one doesn't have joystick control. It's only keyboard. A and Z to move left and right, and X, but still, even with the keyboard, this is solid. Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, if you want to nitpick, Curtis, that's true. Look at the animation. The top, the aliens are they're just shifting. They don't really move around or animate as much. See, now you can compare the difference. If you saw last episode where we played Galaxians on the Acorn Atom, now you can see what home computers are, or at least some of the other micros in the United Kingdom would be playing Galaxian-like. But we played much better, and we played even Galaxian-style games that have added so much to the mix, even to the point that if you wanted to play the arcade machine, where you design your own Galaxian game. There we go, the high score. I like it. All right, so that's Galaxians for the BBC Micro, or Galaxians by Superior Software. Now, of all the games you could play right now across all home computers, there's a lot of competition for shoot-'em-ups or Galaxian-likes, so this one has a lot to live up to. This is still very, very good. I'd say around the average range for the games you could play at this point. I wouldn't go so high as, say, 4 stars. This isn't a super excellent game that you could be playing, but it's still very, very good. I'm going to go 3.5. Above average of all the games you can play right now across all home computers. And let's see what our next title is.
Anyone for Atari?
Oh man, on the Atari, this is General Retreat and Westward Ho. This is a 2-pack deal, and this is another one of those adult titles that we will not be playing on the show because we don't play adults-only video games. This one, to my knowledge, was only available in Europe. So, as we usually do with adults-only titles, I'm just going to rate it because it's not something we cannot play. It's just something we will not play. This one is very much like Custer's Revenge, which we saw before. This has a lot of controversy because of the content involved with the game. It is a terrible game itself as far as gameplay goes. We won't be showing on this channel, but I'm going to go with half star, just like we did with Custer's Revenge. So a very quick reprieve for General Retreat and Westward Ho. Whether you're using the cartridge, it's 2 cartridges in one, basically. All right, and after that, let's see what our next game is.
For Atari?
Yes, very. After that, we're going to the United Kingdom again to play on the Dragon 32. This is Jigsaw, and this is another title that is very, very simple. I am not going to boot up Jigsaw because what you're seeing over on the left side is essentially it. It is a Jigsaw puzzle. It is bare bones Jigsaw puzzle, which at this point, there's only about like 3 or 4 video games that are just straight Jigsaw puzzle, unless you're typing in your own video game. So this is another title that that's all it is. It's just a jigsaw puzzle. You do have a joystick, you can move the cursor around. You got a few different jigsaw puzzles to choose from, but I'm not going to be spending the time playing Jigsaw on the Dragon 32. I'm going to go and say, of all the games you could be playing, it is okay for a Jigsaw, but as far as video game wise, it's borderline application because it's a puzzle game, but I'm going to say 2 stars and breeze right by Jigsaw. After that, what's our next game?
These families are learning about
Coming up next is the Atari home computer, and this is Kid Grid. Kid Grid.
These families are learning.
Let's take a look at the box. Kid Grid for the Atari 400 or 800. This one's by Tronix. And we're going to see this one later on the Commodore 64 in 1983. This is the very first time you could play it on Atari home computers. Do we have anything on the back? We do. The newest, wackiest video game you've ever played, Kid Grid. Why does that sound like it's something educational, but it's really not? It's the new kid on the block. He'll be your pal forever. A video game pal forever. Yep, that's right, Pal Puck. You called it. All right, what other artwork do we have for Kid Grid? We have the ad you would have seen from magazines. The new kid on the block. I don't know what they're trying to go for as far as the character. That character actually looks familiar. We're going to see this, I think, later on a bootleg, but this is the first time this character's... we're going to see this on an Atari 2600 cartridge later. Yes. All right, so there's the cassette. We're going to pop into play some Kid Grid on our Atari home computer. And look at that. The cassette has the developer, Artie. I'm not even trying to pronounce it. We'll just say Artie. Way to go, Artie. This is the very first time we've seen... Oh, no, the second time we've seen Artie's games. The first game we played was Micro World. So way to go, Artie.
Spanish, German,
French.
And we also have the manual for Kid Grid. Let's see how to play this one. They bring the artwork again. You can see some enemies smashing themselves together in the background. I'm not sure what our character's supposed to be. We look very blocky, though. Yeah, I know, Manly. I don't know if the art's helping you sell the game. It does look, like it's something geared for kids. It is called Kid Grid. Here's the instructions of how to boot it up. You can press either option key to have one of 5 game levels, and then it looks like you have a selection key to choose the stun number, which is your power up in the game. There's the scores. We have some special features, and the enemies are Moose, Squashface, Muggy, and Thuggy. Those are the 4 bullies that are hot on our trail because we're playing as a kid, maybe? I'm not sure. This is by Tronix Publishing. It's the second game we've seen so far by Tronix here on the show. And this, when we get into the game, I'll explain a little bit more. We have a mystery question mark in the game. It's no riddle how to rack up a fast score. Capture the mysterious question mark. Oh, so the question mark is just points. All right, that makes sense. Stuns, we have we can select how many stuns we want to use in the game. It is essentially a few seconds to freeze the enemy. It's best not to jump the gun. Don't try to simply outrace the bullies. Try to outsmart the bullies. Wait, did it explain the point of the game? It's got bullies on her tail, special features. Did it? Oh, there we go. The object is complete the grid before being beat up by the bullies. There we go. Okay, we got the objective in. Got it. All right, so it's giving us a few tips on the end of the manual. Very nice.
No foreign languages.
Yeah, this character I remember seeing. I've seen this character before, and I hopefully can pin it down. It's finally here. It was Kid Grid, where I've seen this character in magazines before. So we do have another version that is, okay, the K-File version. Let's pop in and play some Kid Grid. This is, again, by Artie, published by Tronix Publishing at sometime in October 1982. There we go. All right, so we can do a difficulty, how many stuns we want. You can see the difficulty levels going up when I hit the option key. We'll keep it at difficulty 1. And then for stuns, we can do a maximum of 7. I'll do 7 stuns, and then you can decide where you want the joystick to go. We got our joystick in the right slot, so let's do it. And we're in. I'm in the top left corner. I look exactly like I do on the front of the box. And this is the quintessential grid capture arcade game. Most popular one we've seen so far has been Amidar. It is extremely like Amidar. It's not even... It even seems more simplistic than Amidar because... Oh, wait. No. Look how smart the enemies are going. Because it's exactly squares to fill in all the places. And they did tell us if we capture the question mark, we'll get some bonus points. I do have a stun, and I'll show you what the stun does. Oh, if I push it at the right time. That's what happens when you die. Let's go and capture that one, and then go. So you can see what the stun is. It's just I think it's 1 second. Yeah, it is a 1 second stun to pass an enemy by. And you're trying to just capture all the squares. No, get away. There you go. Because everything's shaped exactly the same, it doesn't have as riveting gameplay as Amidar does. So it feels like a slight step back. But to tell you the truth, if you had this on the Atari home computer, you would still have fun playing it. Yeah, I have nothing to... No qualms against it. The enemies don't seem to be latching into my position like they were doing with Donkey Monkey. But wait a second. What is up with the stuns? I've already used most of my 7 stuns, so they're really not helping that much. And all I gotta do is clear out the last one. Ready? Pass by. So you can stun and pass through them just like that. So this marks our 18th grid capture game we played on the show. And that genre just means, line drawing style games. Not specifically exactly like Amidar, but anything that involves moving around to capture a certain section of the screen. So that's across all platforms. We played quite a bit of those. 18. Most popular, though, has been Amidar. This one is very much like Amidar. This one marks the 9th game we played that is like Amidar. I mean, to the T. This is so close like Amidar. And that includes Amidar, too. When we say variant, Amidar is as well, because there's really not an Amidar series. We have played official Amidar on the NEC PC 6001, the home computer from Japan. And I'm sorry, we didn't play. We only saw it because I didn't find the cartridge for it. But yeah, this one, the enemy placement is extremely random. It doesn't feel as rewarding as whenever we were playing Amidar. But I have one more for you. If you look back in the previous games, we've played already an Amidar variant on the Atari home computer, and it destroys Amidar, and it destroys this game big time, and it was called Jeepers Creepers. So this one, if you want to play the really good Amidar-like game, you need to play Jeepers Creepers, not Kid Grid or Kid Vid. Oh, that's right. I get 7 stuns every level. We did get a little song in the beginning, a little song when we die. So it is still quaint. It's fun, but it doesn't. It's not as powerful as the other Amidar games that would be out there. Yeah, so I say Jeepers Creepers has it beat, but this is still good. Very fun game. I'll say that's our quick taste of Kid Grid. We got the idea. We know how to stun. We know how to go from level to level. It changes the color up. Very, very nice. All right, so all the games you can play right now across all home computers, I still say around average. It has a little bit of polish as far as the presentation goes. Maybe seeing some higher than average 3.5s. I wouldn't go that high because the gameplay is less unique than Amidar. It's not trying to do anything different. Yeah, I can see some people pushing 3.5, but we'll say 3 stars. Very, very average for all the games you can play across all home computers right now. You still find some enjoyment in it, too. All right, after that, let's see what is next. Next, we're going to Japan to play on the very obscure Commodore Max machine. And this is Le Mans. That's right, Le Mans. And as far as racing games go, this doesn't mark the very first time that we've seen Le Mans. Back in August 1976, there was an arcade game called Le Mans. It was very similar to another arcade game called Grand Track 10. And so this marks the second time any video game has tried to reference Le Mans. Now, since we're in Japan, we can't really read the front of the box being in the United States, but you can see they added a little bit of artwork, and they show you a graphic that explains kind of what the game's like. I do like how the Commodore Max machine was trying to market this as like almost a console, almost a computer. It used cartridges for the most part, and the front of the box they did a motif similar to the Intellivision and similar to the Atari, but it didn't catch on. This is basically a very low memory Commodore 64 before the Commodore 64 came on. There's the cartridge we're going to pop into play, Le Mans, an example of the screenshot right there. This is our 19th game we played on the Commodore Max machine. Let's pop in that cartridge and play Le Mans. This is developed by HAL Laboratory, published by Commodore Electronics in Japan at sometime in October 1982. This is the 19th game we've seen done by HAL Laboratory. And to my knowledge, they've only been developing games. There was one game that on the Sharp MZ line of home computers that HAL Laboratory possibly had published, but for the most part, they've only been developing games. They've been developing their butt off. Yes, the HAL Hunter, it's them. They started doing Commodore systems first, or Commodore home computers first. All right, so this is a one-player only affair. You ready to dive in? Let's go ahead and push F1, or I got my paddle plugged in. Let's do it. There we go. Oh, so cool. Paddle-controlled racing. It's very fine-tuned. Take a look at that. All right, but we're driving up to the top. Nice and easy. Oh, and if you smash into someone, you fly into the pit side. So the controls are pretty simple. All you got to do is hold down the one button on your paddle control. This is paddle controlled only. Nice, they have the tunnel mode or night mode. Sweet. And all you have to do is dodge. So it's just a dodging game. Hold down to accelerate, and then move the paddle left and right ever so carefully. So in a way, it almost feels like we're just dodging traffic. But most of the releases we've seen by HAL Laboratory have been really, really good and fun. This one is a well-done Monaco GP variant. And those are rare right now. We don't see a lot. And even racing games in general, we haven't seen one in a long time. All right, so we got it. Oh, race over. Do we already lose? Yeah, we did. So there you go. It was done. Is there a high score? It does. It keeps track right above my shoulder here. Nice touch. Oh, you see the graphic dithering on the sides? Yeah. Yeah, I like the headlight effect. And they already threw us in with ice right in the beginning. So I'm very carefully moving. Controls do feel so tight with the paddle control. It reminds me when we play some shooters with that control. Yeah, we go from ice right into the tunnel. And if you look down in the bottom right, this is where they're keeping track of all the cars I'm passing. So all you got to do is pass a certain number of cars, then you get bonus points, and then the race continues. So you're technically not racing anyone. This is closer to a driving game. How many cars can you pass or not smash into? So there's no artificial intelligence. And this one is the... Oh, nice. We split up. Cool. I'm on a really tight... Look at this. Oh, my gosh. Extended the time. Yeah, so how long can you go without crashing into any other cars? You have to have nerves of steel. Oh, man. Yeah, fun for a racing game, though. At this point, this marks our 101st racing game we've played across all racing games. So there's 100 other racing games out there. What sets this one apart is the 2D scrolling, and there's kind of like two flavors of scrolling racing games right now. There's the top-down, like, or there's the top-down scrolling racing games that are that's not going to help. That allow you to move in all directions. Kind of like you take the idea of sprint, but you zoom in so you can scroll around. We saw it originally with Superbug when it played that way. But then we saw a few other racing games that were just scrolling vertically like this. Oh, I think that's it. This is really fast-paced, though. Once you go to the pit, you just wait for a sec, and then you come right back in. But you got to be careful when you come back in, because you might smash into other cars. There we go. Sweet. There you go. So a quick taste of Le Mans on the Commodore Max machine. That's still fun and a little rare, though, because the top-down, like, scrolling games that are like this for racing games, this is the 29th top-down scrolling racing game, and the ones we saw originally that were in this formula were like Street Racer on the Atari home computer or Speedway on the video pack and Magnavox Odyssey 2. There was also another racing one like this in the Triple Action pack on the Intellivision, but then the really good one, the one that took this idea, the just constant vertical scrolling, was Monaco GP in 1979. This one is the 5th variant of Monaco GP. That's it, just 5. So we had Super Speed Race in the arcade, we had Grand Champion in the arcade, we had Burning Rubber in the arcade, and then we just had Turbo 2000 on the TRS-80. So this is a very rare game or style of game to play on a home computer. And I'm looking over in the chat, lots of high ratings. Wow, lots of 4s. And HAL always brings something really nice to the table. Yeah, I'm actually going to go up as well. I see nothing above 4.5, but I'm going to say 4 stars too. Le Mans on the Commodore Max machine is excellent. And it's a rare style of game too, to have this Monaco GP style game at home. It's great. All right, but that's not all. We also have Le Mans on the Commodore 64. If you wanted Le Mans, but you wanted to have more memory, then here you go on the Commodore 64. This one is the one that'll have a little more information because the Max machine's a little more obscure, but Commodore 64, it's got to be great. Yeah, there we go. Very similar front of the box. We have the racing style, and I know they're going for Le Mans. I don't really think the car is the same car they race in Le Mans. But it's 1982. What are you going to do? Flip it over the back, and this is Commodore, I think, Electronics. Yeah, so it just has information about Commodore itself. Looks almost like software, not a video game, it's actually. What other art do we have for Le Mans? Besides the box, there's the cartridge we're going to pop into our Commodore 64, and an example of the screenshot. Yes! We also have the manual. Yeah, tell us. Does it have anything about HAL Laboratory on this? Now, to my knowledge, this version, or the version I was able to find, was only United Kingdom. So if anyone had a NTSC or North American version of this game, let me know. Because everything I could find was only in the United Kingdom. So it explains how to get the cartridge going. It's race day at Le Mans. All you got to do is hold down the fire button, which is your gas pedal. Every 10 cars you pass gives you 1,000 bonuses. Very nice. And there's also divided highways, icy roads, night driving, and the famous Le Mans S's, which I guess is the... Oh, wait, I don't think we ever saw those whenever we played on the Commodore Max machine. Here's the strategy. Drive as fast as you can, as long as you can. If you're in the pole position, you won't encounter any cars for the first 2,000 meters or points. And so it explains a little bit how the pit works whenever you get smacked by another car. Also, make sure you check both sides of the track if there's a shoulder area. And we didn't see, they're explaining the different surfaces. We saw ice, we saw the night. The S's is when you're going to be turning, I think. Yeah, we have to hug the edge and side of the road. So maybe we'll see that when we played on the Commodore 64. We did see the divided highway, and it explains your pit crew whenever that comes up. And there's the controls, paddle controlled only. I don't think there's anything even for keyboard. Yeah. And there's the scores. Cool. Thanks. Now we know how to play. We're ready to go for real. I think we have, yeah, just a couple of reviews. Let's pop in and play Le Mans for the Commodore 64. Again, Hal at some time in October 1982. Let's do it. Now, this one has a cracked version, so we get a little bit of a demo scene showing up when we boot it up. Sweet. I love it. This one marks our 32nd game we played for the Commodore 64, and it's going to be a good one because we just played it on the Max machine. We'll go through a few of these scenes. Whenever you start getting into the Commodore 64 scene, you'll find that majority of the games have cracks. And there's so many games for the Commodore 64 that you sometimes have to find the right cracked version to play the game. This one comes with it, even instructions. Look, it's the same thing we read in the manual, but it's right here. You can even scroll through it, which is kind of nice. But we read the real manual. We don't need this. It even has a few trainers that we're going to be skipping through. So I'm going to skip all those, and we're just going to go right into the action. Yes. Oh, we're ready. Pushing F1, or we got our button in port 1. Let's go. Oh, sweet. There we go, we're in. All right. We read the manual. We're prepared. We're driving for real. I can already feel the difference on the ice, but these guys are coming so fast. And at night, look at that. You have 2 dots that tell you when they're coming at you. So we already finished passing everybody the first time. Very nice. Still, I went to the left, you went right. The other thing this game has going for it is you don't have to push F1. You can just push the button and go, as if it was an arcade game. There's not too many games that go the full arcade experience, like putting coins in, like we did with the pinball video game we played recently, where you actually saw the coin go in the slot. That was a nice touch. So here we go. Maybe this is what they're talking about by the S's? Oh, and the race is already over. We didn't pass enough. So if you don't pass enough a certain amount of time, you don't get extended time. It does keep a track of the high score. And what I can do also is show you this. So you can see the passes, which I was covering up before. Ready, set, go. And it closes in, gets tight, get the top speed. Over 300 kilometers an hour. Come on. Oh, man, the slide of the ice. I don't know how I got by that. And now, all you got to do is not blink. I blinked. Man, it's so fun. So smooth. That HAL Laboratory. They're going places. There's another really fun one we played on Commodore systems called Pinball Spectacular. It's a really well-done pinball game. And very fun pinball game. They didn't go for realism. Oh, they got me. Do we still get the split? Come on, we got a higher score this time, though. You can see the time ticking down. There's different styles of cars that you have to dodge, too. Okay, ready? Easy. Oh, my gosh. I don't know how I got through that. I also noticed there's not a big difficulty change. Like, you don't have variants to play. It's basically, this is it. How long can you go? Yeah, maybe that's what they mean by the S's. That's the turns. And I'm with you there. The sprite size might be slightly larger on the Commodore 64. Maybe when they ported it, they just changed a little bit up. It does look slightly different. Whoa, no, easy, easy. All right, time's going down. We're still looking all right, Gabe. I guess we can pass enough. It just matters on how many you can pass, because every time you get thrown in the pit, then it resets it. There you go. No! 7 seconds. Here it comes. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. If you drive on the shoulder, you slow down just a little bit, but I don't know how we did it. We got an extended time. Go! Oh, I hit the front of him. All right, looking good. Okay, we're going for the split. I'm trying to dodge the cars and smash right into it. It's also really fun playing a racing game where your score is constantly racking up based on your speed. That's really impressive. All right, now I gotta get used to... I really thought the color of the car was gonna help, was gonna help me determine where they're gonna move or their patterns, but it doesn't. It looks like it's random. Some cars bounce like that, some cars are static. Oh, I went on the shoulder a little bit. Nice and easy. It did slow me down. Got a time extend. We're still going. 72,000. Man, yeah, this is fun. Great score attack game, but it makes you want to keep playing. And like I described, something that plays like Monaco GP at home is very rare right now. The only other game we saw was on the TRS-80. Quick, quick, quick! Oh, it took too long to get over to the pit. Okay, got another time extension, just a little bit. Yeah, you gotta be so fast. Whoa! Yeah, it looks like the time extension isn't from passing all the cars, because I'll pass all of them, but I'll just get a bonus score. Oh, I think that's time. Oh, wait, the time dropped, and now it gave me 60 more seconds. I'll take it. These are tricky ones to pass. Oh, I smacked him on the side. I can't believe it. I might have to check the manual again to find the score, because it feels like it's being very, very generous right now. Easy. Quick! Getting smashed by so many cars. 3, 2, 1, and there it is. Then it ended it. Nice. There you go, a quick take of the Commodore 64 version of Le Mans. Man, oh man, I am still impressed. So I'm going to say the same as we did for the Commodore Max Machine. It's still excellent. 4 stars all around for Le Mans. And racing games, I feel like we haven't played a lot of. I was expecting us to play a lot more racing games, but we've had this long stretch of nothing like that.
There's a new personal computer from Commodore.
All right, it's time to put the video game playing on pause. So many video games, so little time. And I'm well aware of behind me, so someone mentioned the Commodore 64 isn't the Commodore 64 we'd be playing right now. This is a video that someone else had hashed together, and maybe I can drop him a line to put in the actual Commodore 64 from 1982. So we are going to take a quick break for Labor Day, everyone that's in North America on Monday, but we're going to kick it off Tuesday playing every video game in order of release. The quest will continue. Next time that you see us on Chronologically Gaming, we're going to have more Le Mans on another home computer, and an obscure arcade game is released for an obscure console. That's it for today, and like I always say, we will never stop gaming. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.